And we're back. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Golden Reach. For the love of... Hold on. Excuse me, people. The official D&D mascot of pretty much every single table I had has broken into my room yet again, aka my brother.
No.
He smells
Come
the games.
on! Swear to God. Okay. Yeah, we should let the audience in on this bit of an inside joke. You see, my brother has a habit of sniffing out D&D when it happens. He shows up every single time I'm about to DM a session, or even play in one, for that matter. Anyways, welcome back to the Golden Reach. This is session number 3. We still have all of our players here. Nobody is leaving, thankfully. I feel like that's a good thing on my part. Moving on. As always, we thank the artists who drew the pictures and the portraits and art in general. Esmeray was drawn by Cini, the player of Esmeray. Hakim, Sonata, and Zoria were drawn by Chiara, and so were the background art, other pictures, and the very own picture of the brand, like the teacup on the roller coaster. Jolson was drawn by Tora PNG. Xavier and my own icon were drawn by Vatline. For the music that we're going to be using, we thank the Fiechter Brothers, Makai Symphony, Alexander Nakarda, and the Vault of Ambience. We also thank a new member in this regard, which is Serpent Sound Studios. We haven't used these in pretty much ever, but I have added them to the playlist for personal reasons. And yeah, let us give a recap as to what happened last session. Last session ended with the party showing up in the city after taking a very long ride on the good old caravan of our friend Delnard the Snowseeker, who seems to be a bit suspicious, as the guards have straight up said that he came out of prison a short while back, or the dungeons, to quote them. He has been hiding something in his cargo, and he promised the party a payment if they safely help him get into the city, which they did. However, the party also has kind of dispersed, and each one of them went back home after delivering the guards. We are still not done with the long rest, as there are a few things that are going to happen that night before people go to sleep. Let us cue the music. Hold on. There we go. We go back to Xavier, actually, who has went back to his lab slash workshop, so to speak, to be greeted as soon as he opens the door by Berian, a kinda largish firbolg who seems to be working for Xavier. Looks pretty peckish, smiles a lot, and that's about it. Has green hair. Kind of sickly pale and looks half ill half the time, really, and is actually ill the other half. Oh,
Good afternoon. Or evening to say.
Dr. Noran, welcome back. I didn't expect you back so soon.
We took a caravan coming back. We fell under the transport.
I see. Welcome home.
You
I'm
look
sorry.
pale.
I always look pale.
More than usual today.
Come again?
More than usual.
Yeah, I kind of may or may not have experimented with some of your tools. I was trying to do something and it blew up in my face. And he kind of points over his shoulder towards what appears to be some black, like, residue on the wall right behind him.
I'm gonna go to check like on MC, see if he's right, see the wound. What's like,
Sure, make a medicine check.
what do you? 24.
24. He looks fine. The thing that exploded in his face just left a very weird odor that may or may not make him like a little pale, a little off. He looks a little fatigued after like the explosion and everything, but he looks fine. Nothing's wrong. He's just tired.
We had any important visitors while I was away?
Not really. No, a couple of soldiers. I was able to treat them.
Ah,
Hold
very
on.
good.
Yes. Hold on. And kind of runs backwards towards like one of the tables, and there is a couple of coins left there. He picks them up and walks up to Xavier, and hands them to Xavier. This is the sum of the money we got in the past 2 to 3 days. You received 3 gold pieces and 7 silver pieces.
Oh, you made a lot of money.
Yeah, we had quite a bit of traffic. Apparently, there were multiple bandit attacks on pretty much every side of town. I am really not sure what was going on.
That should be something to take in mind. Well,
Yeah, well,
anything happened or just usual? Other than that, the couple of
no,
soldiers.
no, nothing specific really. Not at all. There was a visit from Josanna's father. I can't remember his name.
How would you not remember his name?
I'm not good with names.
I guess you are not. Okay. Well, did he left any note?
No, he was just checking in. She was missing. I don't think she notified her family before she left. I told him that she left with you, and that the man seemed satisfied with the information. He didn't look annoyed or anything. Hold on. What else? Nope, nothing else.
Okay, amazing. I will go change my clothes, have a pass because it has been a very rough 3 days, and I would like for you to stock on whatever you exploded. We need the shop to be full. You can head to the market and get whatever.
Yes. I will go out and but hold on.
I'm gonna give him back the 3 gold that he gave me.
Yeah, he looks at them for a second. He's kind of sketches his head, and then he realizes what he wants. You want him to. And he's like, oh, of course. What did I use? I'll figure it out. You can go. I'll deal with it.
Yeah, I will.
I think I
Don't
just.
treat yourself, huh?
What?
Don't forget to treat yourself. You carried this place in a very good way.
Sure. I'll drop by Yargon's goods. He has the good things. And he kind of just sprints out of the door.
Yeah, I should be now going, taking a
All
bath,
right.
getting stuff ready, and
Yes, passive night work.
yes.
I'm going to jump back to Esmeray in the meantime, who was in the Silver Flagon, having booked a room, so to speak, or rather having had a room booked for her by Snowseeker. I'm gonna re-describe the tavern again because some people might have missed it. It was basically at the dead end of the last session. I don't know who was paying attention, who wasn't. But the description goes. From the outside, it looks clean, pleasant, and welcoming. Bricks and huge stone pillars make up most of the building's outer structure with a banner of a flagon made of silver to greet the viewers and customers alike. It's near impossible to see through the large curtained windows, but the energy and excitement from within can be felt outside. As you enter the tavern through the small, soft wooden door, you're welcomed by aromas of roasted meats and the smell of alcohol. The bartender seems quite busy, but still manages to welcome you with a wave. It's as enchanting inside as it is on the outside. Hard wooden beams support the upper floor and large candles attached to them. The walls are clear of anything, though signs do show that plenty of things used to hang on the walls, though they have been probably knocked off by customers who had too much to drink. The tavern itself is packed. Passing traders seem to be the primary clientele here, which Could be a sign seen as a bad sign, though you're sure it's not. Several long tables are occupied by what must be separate groups who have bonded over great food and conversation. The other smaller tables are also occupied by people who clearly enjoy each other's company, though they seem to be strangers who have met here. Even most of the stools at the bar are occupied, though nobody seems to mind more company. The place is mainly packed with humans, a few dwarves, and oddly enough, a couple of tritons. You don't see many tritons going ashore in this part of the city. They usually stick to the northern city. You did hear rumors about this tavern. Supposedly it is famous for something, but you cannot really remember what for. Though, judging by the amount of men staring at one of the barmaids, it's probably her beauty and charm. You manage to find a seat and prepare for your evening. So, Esmeray, what would you like to do?
Uh, I guess I'll go up to my room and sleep. If
You're
it's
not.
late, is it
No,
night?
you still have time to like get dinner and stuff. Maybe chat with someone in the tavern if you'd like.
Then I'll grab a meal and maybe a drink. But now no beer, like nothing alcoholic, I guess. Maybe a glass
Yeah.
of water.
All right. So you take a seat and you raise your hand, so to speak, towards one of the barmaids, who appears to be this very, very young human with blonde hair, blue eyes, and there isn't really anything else remarkable about her. She's kind of short. She approaches you, walking forward with a smile, does a little bit of a curtsy, bowing a little bit downward. Good evening. May I help you?
Uh, yeah, I'd like to have a meal. What's on today's menu?
Tonight we have beefs, we have fish, and rice. That's
Yeah, I'll take the rice and a glass of water with some lemon juice, if possible.
okay. A glass of lemon juice, a glass of water, and rice. All right. And okay. She kind of scurries off towards the barkeep. She whispers him something. He goes towards the back, or doesn't go actually. Tilts his head backwards, and he yells something towards what appears to be some sort of cook in the back. You can't really see him. And yeah, after a little bit of time, your food would arrive, and the woman would kind of send you a smile and ask you for 5 silver pieces.
Okay, I give the 5 silver pieces.
Okay, deduct 5 silver pieces from your inventory.
Roger.
Okay, she kind of just nods to you and goes back to her work while you eat and drink. I will assume that there's nothing that's gonna happen with you after like getting food. You probably just go up to your bedroom or something afterwards, which is fine. You have received the key for it last session. All right. Next up, we go to Sonata.
Mm.
Sonata,
Yes.
you head back towards the only place you consider to be very familiar in this city, even though you've lived here most of your life.
But before I do that,
Yes.
I remember picking up a badger carcass in the prologue. What am I doing with that? Was I trying to sell it or
Oh no, you're supposed to give it back to him.
no, the badger carcass, the thing we killed and
Oh,
you said
the carcass. Yeah, sure, you can sell it.
okay. Nice. So I just
You
go
can.
and
Okay.
go and find an open
So,
market and barter with someone.
all right, you'd like to sell the carcass. You know that the only place who would buy something like that is probably Blackmare's storage. So you head off through the narrow streets of the central city, which are oddly packed with people tonight. There seems to be something going on. You don't really recall any large event happening in the past few days or anything like that. Though the increased concentration of guards worries you a little as you make your way through the city. You head off towards what you know as Blackmare's Storage, which is a really large warehouse with a massive sign that reads Blackmare's Storage, accompanied by a picture of a dark-skinned horse. The place looks to be made mostly of wood and stone, as with most things in the city, really, with crates and barrels spanning most of the visible surface area, leaving a tiny passageway for a single person to go through, one of which at a time. As you walk closer and closer towards the place, you can see that the dark, dingy area that smells and feels humid is spanning all over the area, with no lighting coming in or out. The place looks to be pitch black dark if it's not for the single lantern lighting what appears to be a small desk at the end of it. Since you have arrived at night, this place doesn't seem to have many dock workers as it usually does, with a man raising an eyebrow as you approach, holding what appears to be a badger's carcass. He looks to be in his middle years, somewhere in between 40 to 50 years, so to speak. He's human, has really thick eyebrows, whiting black hair, and a strange scar across his right cheek.
Hello there. I think I'd like to tell you something.
Hold on, I need to fix something real quick. I'm getting internet connection problems, which I have to fix.
Fine.
Where the hell is it? Anyways, he nods a little bit, looks at the carcass, and he goes, "Well, I'm assuming that is it.
Oh yes, that's Bill for today.
Right then. May I see it?"
I kind of it's probably in like a big burlap sack or something right now. I try to think of the injuries I had. I think I got like stabbed twice, and that was it.
He nods a few times.
Mm-hmm. I present the bag, just kind of holding it by the rope scrunch at the top.
He takes a look at it, kind of giving it like the kind of like trying to figure out like what the markup on this is. Looking at it from every side, and he scratches his head a little bit and is like, "Well, this does not seem to have been cleaned up the proper way when it was killed. Meaning it's not really gonna fetch much of a price for anyone. Probably gonna go to a tavern or something, just be eaten. I'm gonna give you 5 silver pieces for this."
I kind of wanted to like inside say like, can I get up? And I'm just hoping the inside doesn't roll too high, so just be like, yeah, sounds good to me.
He nods.
Yeah,
He kind of like tosses it behind him and hands you 5 silver pieces.
5 silver. And what might be the proper way to clean something before it's brought into you?
Oh, well, of course you'd have to skin it. You'd have to keep the meat from taking too much heat. Take it in some sort of container. Have you never studied hunting before? Because you either bring it fresh, like as soon as it was slain nearby, or you have something prepared to make sure that the thing doesn't get rotten, which it is halfway through anyways. I know a couple of taverns around town who would be more than willing to buy something like this, mostly because, well, they see their clientele is not that really picky when it comes to stuff.
Might be good for a buzzer or something. They tend to like rotten stuff.
Fuck if I know. Anyways, I have stuff to do. Have a good day.
You too. I'll be back some other time with more fresher animals.
Mm-hmm.
I think at this point you also kind of squeeze out of the corridors that narrow.
Alright. You get out again onto the bustling streets, and I'm assuming back home.
Yep, back home. No more distractions.
Alright. You walk towards what appears to be what is like the place you have more or less been raised in at this point. Besides, other spots. and you approach a building tucked in between buildings in a long line of shops. A matching brick building called Strong Arms Steel stands with its door wide open. Inside, stacks of ingots pour out of the cupboards, and a few swords and axes are swinging from the ceiling, with a couple of suits of armor hung on their stands. The counter is barely visible. Hiding behind it seems to be a large door, which seems to lead towards a greater canopy above a heated forge out in the open air. As you open the door and enter, faces you the familiar face of Strongarm, your mentor, and the city blacksmith. He is way into his 70s at this point. Quite an old man, actually. Seems to be hammering onto something, and he sends you a smile with a raised eyebrow.
Got a thing for you. It's quite a walk, and some tales to tell you and all.
Well, let's get on with it then. I'm surprised you're here this early.
I produced a parcel from probably a bag. I don't think I have a back pocket for this. There's something of the size.
Mm-hmm. You
I place on the table in front of him.
You produce the parcel. He picks it up and opens it as he pats you on the shoulder with one hand. Kind of smiling a little bit. He's like, well done. This is gonna come in handy. So, what have you been up to? How come you're home so early?
Got attacked by bandits on the way back. We can't run them back with no looker, I think.
What?
Something like that. Frost Seeker.
Oh,
I forgot
Eleanor.
already. That'd be the guy, yes.
Yeah, I know him. Pretty much half of the town knows him.
I met up with him during a bandit attack. We fought them
You
off.
bunked off with him. Interesting, I guess. Sorry, I'm just kind of tired tonight. I don't really have much conversation left in me. A lot of soldiers passed by and left orders for a few longswords and spears. They appear to have a need to reinforce what's going on after what happened last night.
Oh, what happened? Sounds like I missed something big.
Oh, yeah, you did. The city was practically attacked by bandits, and worst of all, we have had a murder take place.
That's kind of looks quite so. It's like, who died? Who was the victim?
The victim was a random trader passing by from the northern city. I don't really know who the person is, though I think the entire town already knows who the guy that killed him is. You ever heard of Martin Davio?
Is that a roll a history check, or do I just not know this one?
Make a history check.
Oh yeah, that's big number. Here we come. 6.
The only thing you remember with this thing is that it belongs to some sellsword. You don't actually know who the hell this is. He seems to have been caught just going about his business, really. I think he killed someone who shouldn't have, or I'm not really sure. Most of the time, whenever he gets kills, he has justifying reason for something like that. Rarely ever actually kills anyone. Hell, I even used his services at some point to get some people who owed me a lot of money to pay up. Well, is a good man. I'm surprised he actually did something as terrible as that.
That mustn't sound right then. Why'd you go and kill someone like that?
I have no
think
idea
about
I have no idea why he'd kill a person. No. He has a cell sword, so he probably was given some sort of random job. It just doesn't make much sense, you know?
Right, is there more bandits going on, or has the main attack been repelled by now?
No, the attacks seem to have been repelled, but they need more weaponry as they lost some of them. Apparently the bandits struck the storage, like the barracks. And they tried to steal some of the weapons, and I think they succeeded, or else they wouldn't have put in so many orders. Like for me, that little piece of metal you brought will help a lot. I can just chip from it every now and then and just... It'll help out make things a lot more solid. Fits in the alloys and whatnot.
Do you need any help with the replenishment of the weaponry, or should I just leave you to your work?
I think I can handle it, considering I'm assuming you still have other unfinished business with Snowseeker. He has a habit of leaving unfinished business.
Oh, yes, yes, I think he has been to meet him back at the tavern.
Anyways, I'm gonna get to work. You probably should prepare to go to bed.
Alright then.
And we are going to jump to Josana. Josana,
Hi.
where would you like to go? What would you like to do?
I would like to see for the market. I assume there's some jeweler still open somewhere.
Yeah, it is kind of deep in the night, but you probably can find someone like that, yes.
I'll go to a jeweler then.
Alright, you wanna head off to the jeweler. Give me a second. I'm just setting up music. Right, you head off towards the market district, so to speak, which isn't really that much of a district actually. It's just a collection of shops left, right, and center. You can actually see as you're approaching, you can see Sonata entering the local blacksmithy. And yeah, around you appears to be a jewelry shop with what simply seems to be a signet of a gold ring hanging on top of it from some sort of sign. Doesn't appear to have anything remarkable about it besides that little piece. No name, nothing hanging off it. You kind of recognize this place as you've been here before a couple of times, but for no particular reason, you just browse a lot. The shop doesn't seem to be occupied at this time of the night, as it is approaching closing time very soon. And through the window, you can see what appears to be a very rowdy gnome sitting down and going through what appears to be some sort of piece of jewelry. You can't really see it very clearly from the window.
I'll put out the fire from my pipe before going inside.
All right. You enter.
Hello.
Oh,
Good evening.
hello there. The gnome appears to be a female with black hair.
Good evening there. I'm looking for a diamond.
You're looking for a diamond. Right. What kind of diamond?
Oh, well, I'm thinking not too big, but it's supposed to be used for spells.
Ah, a component. Yes, I think I have something like that. Hold on. And you see her kind of like get up and ruffling through her thingies until she finds A tiny diamond almost, just fits in the palm of her hand. She grabs it, weighs it for a second in her hand, and just nods, hands it to you. Appears to be a clear shade of nothingness. It is transparent. That's the word I was looking for.
May I try first?
Try what?
To use it. Just to see if it
Of
works.
course, of course.
Yes. I'm gonna leave my pocket here my pouch here where I have my money, so that you don't know. So you know that I won't steal it.
I see.
And then I will kind of take a few steps outside and try to cast a orb of fire onto the ground.
Like a chromatic orb?
Yes.
Okay. I guess roll to hit ground. You have advantage because it's an object.
Woo.
You're not gonna miss, but I'm trying to figure out like whether or not you deal damage.
17.
17. No, you do not seem to deal any damage to the ground, but the spell works.
Well, another turn, walk inside again.
Though no woman seems to be expectantly waiting for you.
That seems to be working fine. How much would you?
This would be worth 55 gold pieces.
55.
Mm.
I do believe 45 would be more suitable.
Make a persuasion check.
Nat 1. Woo!
Chiara looks at you with like a scrutinizing eye for a second. She's like, 45 is the price I buy it for.
Oh,
I do not think that would work.
well, that makes sense. Well, 55 should do, I guess.
Mm-hmm. She nods, waiting for the money.
And I'll hand it over.
You hand the money over. Alright. Hold on. What was I trying to do? Okay. Wait, do you even have 55 gold pieces?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. You hand the money over. She kind of nods, and yeah, there isn't much more to say in this regard. Sends you off on your way.
Then I will be heading home.
You head back home. All right. You make way towards the quiet and quite large at the same time house of Latrodectus. You walk the streets as if you were born here, because actually you were. Just kind of managing your way through. As you're moving by, a few people will greet you on the way. I'm assuming you greet them back. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yes.
Okay, you greet them back. Okay, you make your way back home as you approach the almost, by the city's standards at least, lavish household of Latrodectus. In front of you appears to be a tiny gate that like spans around the house with a large stone fence. It is the closest thing you can get to a mansion in a trading port city. And yeah, the guard greets you as you're allowed into the residence. You walk a mere 15 feet until you're at the front door, which I'm assuming you have the key for.
Yep.
Okay. You open the front door and walk into what appears to be this really large, open-spanned living room with a fire roaring from the inside, as the weather is getting a little colder now. By now, sitting facing the fire appears to be your mother. No, not you. What? No, this is Jocelyn. No, we still haven't dropped into Hakim and yeah, we still haven't dropped into Hakim and Azoria. Mm, that is fine. Yeah. Ursula Eltrodectus seems to be sitting at the chair, kind of facing towards the fire. As you enter the room, you can hear her familiar, stern voice as she clears her throat.
Evening, Mother.
Well, it's nice of you to show up back home.
I was out on a little stroll with Xavier. He required my assistance.
A little stroll, you say?
Oh well, we were supposed to gather some mushrooms he needed.
I see.
We
And
did.
you didn't think it would be a good idea for you to maybe notify us before you left?
I did not really think of it. I did not even know that I was going to be away for that long.
I see. Well, your father is out on a tiny voyage nearby. And by voyage, I mean he just decided to take the seaway towards the northern city for some odd reason. Dinner is prepared if you'd like to go visit the kitchen, see if you have anything you want to go through.
Oh,
I'll be here reading if you'd like to talk about anything.
I'll come back shortly. I'll just have something to eat.
All right. Hold on. Okay, so you head off towards the kitchen, I'm assuming?
Yep.
It is a fully kitted kitchen with what appears to be a cook inside who's just ruffling through some sort of book. Looks like the familiar recipe book he goes through. He seems to be studying something. As you enter, you startle him. He smiles. He looks to be like a fat, plump male. He is a half elf.
Oh, hello, Jeff.
Oh. Hello, Lady Latrodactus.
What is it that you're reading over there?
That is on my recipe book, of course. I'm trying to add I'm trying to add new recipes to it.
Oh, that sounds lovely. What did you have prepared for us tonight?
For tonight, it's salmon.
Oh, well, that sounds good. I'll take some if you don't mind.
Oh, of course. I'm surprised you weren't around for the past couple of days.
Oh, I was out foraging with Xavier.
Oh, Xavier. Oh, Dr. Norman.
Yeah,
Cool.
yes, Dr. Noran. He required my assistance.
I see.
Anything happening in here while I was gone?
Not in this household, no. Nothing specific. Your father went out on a trip and that's about it.
Well, nothing too unusual.
I don't think so. He had a visit from the newest member of the council. Apparently there was something going on in the market, but that's basically it. The merchant seemed to drop by, yeah. You remember the merchant to be the newest member of the council. It's his nickname. His name is Darnell Loudboot, and he is a very, very successful suddenly. No.
Darnell Loudbook.
Loudboot.
Loudbrute. Okay.
Boot, not brute. Boot. Like his boot is loud.
Oh,
That's his
yeah,
name.
Loudboot. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
But besides that, I don't think anything important happened, no.
Yeah. Well, that sounds that's reassuring.
I think Will would have your room prepared. Yeah, there was one thing that happened actually. Your father bought new beds.
You bought new beds.
Yes, he seemed to be convinced that the older ones were getting quite old. So he did as he usually does, and he donated them out to the House of the Homeless and bought new ones.
Yeah, well, that sounds great. I will make sure to look at that one after talking a little bit to mother.
Okay.
I'll be seeing you, Carl.
Mm. Of course. Take care, lady. And just kind of like sends a nod, and while you were speaking, he was more or less just like preparing a plate for you.
I'll grab the plate and go out to the fireplace.
Okay, you go out to the fireplace. Is there like anything specific you want to do right now? Or...
No, I mostly just want to I'll just explain just a little bit what happened. Short, like
Okay.
a little bit, not too detailed, but
Yeah, just enough to keep her satisfied. Understandable. All right. Uh, okay. I'm going to jump down to the last two we have, which are Hakim and Zoria.
Yes.
You two, what the hell are you doing?
Well, I'm assuming I'm making my way home.
All right. I'm assuming she's following you.
She's just following.
Okay. You traverse the open field of the what's it called? The Academy District, which seems to have much wider streets than most of the other parts of the city, on account of it being a part of the district that houses the Academy of Warriors, which requires a lot of wide streets, as they do a lot of running and lapping around basically the entire city. You head off through the Academy District towards the City Hall District, and yeah, that's where your house resides. It's near the political center of Port Villa, actually. Close by to a couple of banks, a couple of political offices, and a few other things.
So you're sure you don't mind when I stay with you?
Oh no, not no problem at all. I'm just going to have to settle a bedroll for you.
Sure. That's fine.
Okay, so you guys eventually arrive at the very standard house, at least by the rules of this district, of the Farseeker family.
Yes, I would like to enter.
All right. You decide to try and open the door. The door is locked, so you pull out your key and you stick it into the keyhole. Appears to not be pushing. You add one and one together to kind of compute that there is a key in the other side.
Oh, that is.
Someone has left the key at the door.
That's kind of awkward. Can I look through the keyhole?
There is a key.
Yes, but is the key maybe turned so I can look into the door?
It is turned, but like you cannot really see anything clearly now.
Okay, is there a window nearby?
There is a window nearby, but you also kind of sum up that you could just knock.
Fair, that also works. I will knock.
You still live with your family?
Yeah, I think.
You
DM.
think?
You knock at the door, and
Nice.
out comes what appears to be your father. Tan-skinned, middle-aged man with a whiting beard and a bald head.
Hello.
Oh. Hello there, Hakim.
I'm home. I brought company. She lives in the forest normally, so I'm letting her stay the night until I can.
Not true. I live
Oh.
in a different part of the city.
Take it easy, son. I haven't seen you in quite a while. Where the hell have you been?
Well, I'm out on a field study as usual.
Understandable. Oh, welcome home. He kind of looks at he kind of looks at the key in your hand and like the key at in the door is like, for the sake of Orden, your mother has done it again.
Well, yeah, that happens. Accidents
I'm not
happen.
surprised. Anyways, welcome home. Kind of looks over your shoulder and is like, and who's your friend?
Yes, I was about to explain. I picked her up from outside the city, and she will be staying with us for the 2 nights. So we are going until I can get her a room in the Flagon.
All right. Welcome. And he kind of like extends his hand and with like a wide smile. Welcome, Ahlan. My name is Muhammad. And you are?
Oh, it's nice to meet you, sir. My name's Zoria. No, shake the hand.
Pleasure to meet you, Zoria.
Pleasure is all mine.
Welcome to our house. I hope you have a nice day. We're not really the most rich house out there, but we get by. Come in. And kind of leads the way.
I'll follow. I don't know where we're going, but we're
Yes.
going somewhere.
I follow as well. Well,
Okay, so
guess
you
I'll
follow
read her-
inside.
We'll first go to the dining chamber, I assume, or whatever thing we have closest to
Yeah, the
that.
dining chamber is comprised of what appears to be, what's the name for these? Hold on, let me look this up because I'm running out of vocab right now. The hell? I don't know the word for them, but like cushions basically. It's lined up with cushions all around the floor and around the walls actually. Like this, the entire area just is like in a circle, so to speak, with a big sheet of wool spread across the floor. And there's what appears to be leftovers of food left there.
Help yourself.
Can I just kind of like... Zoria would very excited, but like she would seem like she's trying to keep her excitement inside. Just kind of walk over to the cushions and like not jump on them, but just kind of let herself fall.
Okay. Let yourself following. Let me just give you a visual representation of what this is supposed to be.
I will also sit sort of like next to her, so she doesn't have to sit by herself.
They're so
Understandable.
soft.
They're cushions.
They're so soft.
Yes,
They indeed are.
they have wool inside of them.
I know we have some at home, but you know I've never seen this many in like one place.
Yes, we use them to sit.
That makes sense.
Uh,
Why don't all people use them to sit? Chairs are so uncomfortable.
Well, you can also put them on chairs. So, but yeah, I
yeah.
agree. Chairs
But
are
it's such
quite
a waste of
uncomfortable.
wood. Like people cut down the poor trees just to make chairs when they could just take one of these fluffy things and sit on the ground. Does seem a little confusing if you think about it.
Yes, you are correct. But many things are confusing to me. This is one of them. Once I figure out an answer, I will tell you. You will be the first to know.
Nice. What kind of food is there?
Give me a second, I'm just setting something up.
Sure.
You have there what appears to be green pea stew. It has carrots, it has potatoes in there, and it has tomato sauce. It's like sinking in tomato sauce. There's a lot of tomato sauce to go around.
Oh
And
yeah. I'll
what
just
appears
eat
to be
some.
a bottle of olive oil to the side.
I'll have at it.
Same.
We'll also talk about what happened on the travels and like sort of like talk about the people I've met. You know.
Zoria will just nod along excitedly whilst eating.
All right. As you are nodding along, and you guys are talking, suddenly you hear a feminine voice that sounds much stronger than a lot of male voices you've heard in your life, actually. Cut you off, as the voice seems to be directed towards Hakim. Oh, Hakim, dear.
Hello, I'm home.
Welcome home. Who's your friend?
She's called Zoria, and she is joining us for tonight. And so we can. And tomorrow we're going to get her a room at the Flagon. She's going to be in town
Oh.
for a while.
I see. You see her kind of like look down at the food, and she's like, "Oh, my dear. Excuse me, dear." And she kind of like extends a hand to you. And like as you're trying to shake her hand, she kind of like puts her hand on your shoulder and forcefully lets you sit down. And she smiles and she's like, don't get up, don't get up. I'm Zahra. I'm his mother. This little boy is mine. You see, and she kind of like looks at you with a little bit, like a very tiny ray of disappointment. Does not really know how to feed guests. Let me be right back. And like in the time span of about a minute and a half, she walks back into the room with what appears to be half of a really large chicken. You cannot offer people food without protein, Hakim. Haven't I taught you that?
Oh, I forget.
That's a lot of food.
Well, it's custom, so eat up.
I'll accept the challenge.
So like when I lean over and whisper, if you can't finish it, just shove it over to my father.
What? Why?
You have no idea how morbidly accurate that is.
We'll finish
Is
it.
that kind of rude?
No, we'll just swap plates. It's fine. She never notices.
Okay.
My halfling friend also can't eat that much, so we swap plates often.
Oh, I eat a lot, don't worry. I might not look like it, but I can fit a lot of food.
Well, that's good then. Have at it.
Zoria eats. She keeps eating.
All right, Zora eats.
They too eat while talking about the adventures slash the stuff that happened before. And
I'll nod
ramble
along
on about
excitedly again.
my books.
Okay. All right. Do you guys want to do anything after food?
Well, I'll prepare a bedroll, sort of like somewhere where there's place, and before bed, like before sleeping, my room sort of has like a little bit of a bed and a simple sort of like furnishing with a desk and a small book shelf that is sparsely stacked because I spent most of my time in the library
For
anyway.
reference, compared to most of like the decorations and like household items in the house, his room sticks out hard
Why?
Right.
because most of like the housing has a completely different tone to what his room looks like most of the time. He has a bunch of books and
Okay.
stuff going around, like elevated chairs and desks and that kind of thing. It's not normal. It doesn't look normal in this house.
Yes, it sort of like sticks out because it is built in sort of like a likeness of a library sort of like study room, because it makes me feel like I'm working better. So spends a little bit of time just jotting down notes and just happenings in his diary, and then goes to sleep, unless Zoria still needs something.
Is there a window?
There is a window, as this room is a little upstairs that overlooks the street.
Can I lean out of the window and look up?
Yeah, you can try.
I'll try.
Okay, you try. don't really seem to see anything outside. Like the stars are not easily visible from here at all.
Fair. Zoria kind of
And
looks a
the
little
only,
disappointed at that.
yeah, the only position you can get yourself into to actually see the stars hurts your neck bad.
She'd still try for like a little,
Yeah, I figure as much.
and then just kind of like go back into the room. This is really uncomfy. You know, for the fact that you're also into stars, your room doesn't really show that.
Well, I spend my stargazing time outside, and I come back
Yeah.
here to not look at the stars.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh,
Alright, so everyone goes to sleep. Eventually, each single character would be back in bed. Hold on. Give me a second
long
because I have
rest
just
button.
hit the long rest button.
I don't
And
think I use any features.
I need to DM Choco something as I've received a tiny complaint about the stream.
Yes. Oh, no clue. I will check it out.
Alright,
Give me a bit.
take your time.
Just keep going. It's not too bad.
Yeah, I just need to take a couple of seconds to prepare some things.
I don't see why it is the way that it is, but I will check between streams, for I cannot look at the settings at the moment. Did it work last time?
It was working fine last time, it's just confusing this time around. Okay, fair enough.
Then my connection is probably just a little bottlenecked today, because we have a lot of people home.
That sounds realistic. Okay. Anyways. Alright, back to the campaign, as I need to get a few things going. Hold on. Where is it? Alright. So, you guys usually would have slept quite soundly. Except this time around, all of you are awakened by the really, really loud and rather disturbing noise of the city horn, which, when rang, is a signal for everyone, and that includes every single person in the city, to gather around the center of the city in front of the city hall. Choco, you might want to bump the pot up a little bit as it
I
is
am bumping it
on,
up as we speak.
yeah, as it is on quiet audio this time around. All right. Everyone eventually gets up and heads toward the city center. This is kind of non-negotiable for most characters at this stage because anyone who is missing gets accounted for and questioned later by the guards for why they were missing. Usually when that city horn is rang, there is a very important event taking place or something of urgency happening.
I will explain that on the way to Zoria.
Thank
Alright.
you. I was about to ask.
Esmeray is probably awakened by it, and she knows exactly what that means, so I'm assuming she would head towards city center. Yes? No?
Yep.
Alright. Sonata?
I'm gonna check on Harry first before I make my way out of the house.
Oh, Harry wakes you
What?
up.
Oh.
He's an old man. I need to make sure that he's okay.
Yeah, he wakes you up. Like, he wakes you up and is like, yo, I have to go there now.
Oh, oh, out of bed and on I go.
All right. Yeah, he leads the way towards the center. He looks kind of concerned. Xavier.
Yeah, I'm gonna check on Berian and go with him, I guess.
All right. Josino.
I will quickly powder myself.
All right. And eventually hit that.
Yeah.
Okay. As everyone kind of gathers towards city center, you guys, oddly enough, by sheer luck, really, just kind of stand in very near proximity to one another, where people just seem to be moving out of the way and in the way. Just everyone seems to be trying to walk closer to people they know. So you do the same. Everyone kind of hugs each other almost like the party kind of like gets closer to one another, so to speak, with a few neighbors in between and stuff like that. And climbing up the main stage that is set up in the center of the city, which appears to be bustling with pretty much almost every citizen in the city minus a couple, maybe a few elderly or children, who knows, appears to be a very, very, very fat-looking and old dwarf. He seems to be a little over 580 years of age, which equates to around 90 years of age for a human. And this, to every single citizen of the city, is known as Chief Joger Truthlight, one of the head founders of Podgridia, and the only one who's still alive from the people who founded it, actually. He's more or less the head of the Gridian Council, though there is no real head. He just plays his part, and he's the spokesperson. He's one of the 12 founding fathers of the Northern Town, and eventually the entirety of Port Gridia. And he stands up on the pedestal facing the crowd. He eyes everyone for quite a few moments, kind of looking at what everyone's doing, making sure that he has the count. Good people of the Central City, welcome to the city center, as we have a pretty important event taking place now. Last night, a terrible crime has been committed. The council has elected that the criminal be brought forth in front of the crowd to be judged. For we do not take into our own hands to judge crimes that are of that size. Guards, bring forth Martin Deveau. And as brought forward, you see a man with his head covered in some sort of bag, wearing extremely ragged clothes, being dragged forward, reluctantly, but he's still following through, he's not struggling or anything, by two guards, as they climb up towards the pedestal, while Chief Truthguard seems to be setting up some sort of hanging rope while tying up the noose. Eventually, the man is brought forward in front of the crowd, and the tiny bag is lifted over his head, revealing what appears to be a very, very, very young elf, around his early hundreds, like his early 100s, with black hair and a very pretty face. There is a rough scar covering half his chest, which is very visible, considering his ragged prison clothes, as he's brought up to the stage. He eyes the crowd with concerned but calm eyes, kinda keeping his eyebrows in check and trying his best to not overreact to anything that is happening. As Chief Truthguard clears his throat again. Standing in front of you is a man terribly accused of committing a very bad crime. Martin Deveau has been working in this city for a very long time as a sellsword. And he has been doing a lot of good work and a lot of bad ones, though he has never crossed the path of the law without ample explanation until last night. I'll leave it up to the man who caught him in the middle of his action to explain it to you. He turns around, welcoming to the stage the very, very, very short male what's the word? Gnome as he approaches the crowd on top of the pedestal as well. Well, looks like we have a bit of a situation, people. Of course, you all know me, and I know all of you. But for those who don't, as I'm not of the central city, I would like to introduce myself. I am Darnell Loudboot, more commonly known as the Merchant, and the newest addition to the Gradient Council, or the Gradient Council rather, I'm sorry. Yesterday, I was walking through the bank area of the city as I heard a very muffled scream. I have a very powerful sense of hearing, you see, and I saw what appears to be a shadow in an alleyway. I ran there to find this man, and he points over towards Martin, the black-haired elf, holding what appears to be a rapier in front of a bleeding to death corpse of a very, very simple tavern owner who has committed nothing wrong. When I asked Martin here to explain his situation while I was calling for the guards, he simply didn't say anything. And he complied with being arrested. To me, if nothing else, that appears like admitting a crime. And you hear the crowd bustling across, everyone nodding with agreement and everyone whispering something aloud, as Chief Truthgar clears his throat one more time and everyone quiets down. This man stands accused of committing murder in cold blood for no specific reason. The only thing I heard was that he was having an argument with the tavern owner the day before about payment. Payment from a sellsword. He is richer than 70% of the people standing in front of us right now. And yet, he does not seem to have a single point of remorse towards the crime. He just stands there, looking at all of you, almost smiling. You can see it about to break through his face, if not for the noose hanging on top of his head. I'm going to ask you one last time, Martin, to explain your situation. What do you say in your own defense? As the people will judge you, not me, not Chief Truthgar, and very, very lucky for you, not Dolanath, not Counselor Dolanath. And you see him kind of point off towards what appears to be a Triton sitting at the tail end of the pedestal, with his arms crossed and legs, for that matter, kind of looking a little bit quiet and just staring, observing the situation. We will wait for the people to decide your fate, but you're going to have to defend yourself first, no? The man smiles suddenly, and the crowd goes wild, as what appears to be an egg flying out of nowhere flows back through all the way through the crowd and finds its way through this guy's head, landing on his hair, followed up by Tomato, until Chief Truthgar yells out loud and everyone goes quiet. You see the man kind of like, he clears his throat, closes his eyes and smiles, and then looks up at the crowd. Frankly, I do not have a whole lot I can say in my own defense. I did kill a man, and I did kill him in cold blood. But I did have a reason. A reason I'm not capable of sharing with any of you. A reason that if I do share, I will lose my family. The only thing I can tell you is that there is something at play that's much larger than all of us. And there are spies in the city. He was one of them. I do not have any proof of it, because the only proof I had he destroyed, which is why I resorted to killing him. You might judge me for trying to protect my own city and acting on my own accord. I was not hired by anyone. Usually when I'm hired to do something illegal, the man responsible for hiring me is the one who's responsible for the crime, as I am but a tool. But I have acted in cold blood, and I deserve my punishment. I just hope that when the time comes and all is revealed, you people remember me as the one who tried to protect the town, not the one who murdered a man in cold blood. He tilts his head downwards and quiets down, looking through the crowd, who seems super split on the man. Some of them are yelling at him and swearing in words and in languages you guys have never heard. Some of them are nodding in quietness, kind of pondering what he just said, looking worried and exasperated with the whole situation. Suddenly, the Triton stands up, walking forward with soft, quiet steps that look like they come from a military-trained man. For the ones of you who are familiar with the University of Mages or the chain of command of the City Guard, you know this man to be Ninvas Darnath, or Council Darnath, as he claims to be. He is the chief of the guard, the man responsible for keeping the peace, and most importantly, the one in charge of the University of Mages. He approaches the center of the pedestal while everyone makes way for him. He doesn't need to say a word with his hands kind of held behind his back. He looks over to the crowd and speaks up. Ladies and gentlemen, it is up to all of you to decide this man's fate. I will not take part in this process because if it were up to me, all of you know, his head would hang, his body would hang, and he would be left there as an example for a lot of people. But it's not. This is not how our port and our city work. You people may decide his fate. Those of you who are opposed to his death, raise of hands. And you see about like 40 to 45% of the city raises their hand. Do any of you
Zoria
raise?
raises her hand.
Zoria raises
Yeah,
her hand.
same.
Xavier raises his hand.
Wait, they asked for him not to die, right?
Yes,
now, right?
opposed.
Yeah. Zoria raises her hand.
I will also raise a hand.
Okay.
Sonata raises his hand too. Probably both of them just for good measure.
All right.
They're not actually going to murder him, right, Hakim?
We might.
He's not being murdered. He's being executed. Yes.
Same difference. For Zoria, that's
Anyways,
murder.
fair enough. The man looks at the crowd for a few seconds and nods. You see everyone kind of putting their hands down, and those of you who had their hands up kind of put them down as well. He looks over to the rest of the crowd, and I think I am fair in assuming that all of you are not just opposed, but with his execution. And you see about 55% of the town raise their hand. Does anyone raise their hand in agreement to him being executed?
I think that is a no.
All right. Well, I believe it is decided. Chief Truthgar, if you'd like. You see Chief Truthgar kind of like put his hand on the man's shoulder. May I have mercy on you, kid. May he welcome you to his world with mercy. If you're a criminal, you're being punished. And if you are, as you say, truthful, and you have tried to protect our city, then may he have mercy on you and on your soul. And you see him kind of like move forward towards the noose and like grabs it and goes to put it towards Martin's neck.
Xavier's gonna walk up to the stage or like the fucking noose place.
So, yeah. Alright, as you walk towards the spot, a couple of guards put their spears in front of you and kind of like block the way until Dalanath kind of sends them a soft nod, and they move out of the way, allowing you to approach closer.
Well, I'm just gonna talk to the guy himself, like the.
As you're approaching, Chief Truthgar kind of looks at you with a scrutinizing eye and raises an eyebrow. It appears that one of the crowd wants to speak. Speak, citizen,
Well,
and name yourself.
I'm Dr. Nuran. I think most of the people here know me. I'm a very well-known doctor in the city. I just have a small suggestion. It would be better for us if he is either getting executed or not, to at least listen to him, get what he's behind. If there was some kind of spy, we should at least get the leads that he has, investigate it ourselves, if not for him.
Dalanath steps up and kind of looks at you with a very, very, very almost angry look from his quiet face. You appear to be questioning the effectiveness of our military force.
I am
Nora.
not doing that.
Well, you should understand that this man has been questioned thoroughly, with both quiet and non-quiet methods. All he has had to say, he has said, and all the information we could have gotten out of him we have presented to the public. Frankly, he didn't say much. We left it up to him to say what he had to say. In case he left any details out, we were gonna say it, but he didn't. He stands accused of murder and he admits it. He stands accused of a great many deal of things and he admits to them, though he admits that he was nothing more than a tool, which we concur to. However, his one crime right now cannot be forgiven.
What about delayed?
I don't think so. The crowd has spoken. Now I ask you to go back to where you were standing. Quietly.
Well, I have my word. I'm gonna go back.
Say your prayers, Morton. May Yahweh have mercy on you. See Morton quietly whispering something as with his eyes closed as he puts his head through the noose. And Dalnath pulls on a lever, opening a tiny area right under him, allowing his feet to drop and his head to hang in the air for a few seconds.
Zoria would just look away as soon as that happens, kind of turn towards Hakim and just kind of hug him, but like just because she's scared and terrified of what's happening,
Kim
and
would
like
also
turn away
avert-
from what's happening.
Kim would also avert the gaze.
As you guys can see in front of you, you can see that the crowd, like everyone in the crowd, is just quiet. Some of them are giving moments of silence, some of them are more or less mortified with the situation. It is a very rare occurrence for someone to be executed in this town, or city rather. As the man lets out muffled noises of choking and passing out, and then dying. His corpse hanging in the air for a few seconds, before Chief Truthgar cuts the rope and pulls it down. Well, there you have it, people. Justice delivered. Now for you who would like to go back about your business, feel free to. For the few of you who would like to stay around, feel free to. For those of you who work official jobs or unofficial ones, today is a vacation day. In mourning of the soul that we have lost. And to give an example for anyone who would try to attempt something like that ever again. Thanks to the good people of the city for delivering justice. And thanks to the good-hearted people of the city for raising their arms in opposition to what they believe to be unjust. The crowd has spoken, and the words were said. Disperse or stay. It's up to you. As he's speaking, however, you guys get approached by a very, very sketchy-looking person who, as fast as he runs in, he runs out, dropping a very simple note in the hands of Xavier.
I mean, it's only me noticed, I guess, right?
Oh, no. Everyone standing in front of you kind of sees him because he moves by fast.
Is there any reaction on me?
Is there any reaction to a sketchy figure covered in cloaks passing by and dropping a
You know
note
what? The
in your
people,
hand?
not me. People, not me.
Yeah, no, I'm asking the party first.
Wait, they already even around me? Or like, are we next to each other? I don't think we are.
You guys are generally in close proximity to one another. You're not right next to one another, but you're close proximity.
I think when they disperse to the crowds, and I was going to be like, oh, yes, that's what I'm supposed to be doing today. And then kind of try and meet up.
Mhm.
Probably
As
get
you're
into like a
walking,
guardful stance
you're
as
walking,
this road figure runs by, but then
Mhm.
they disappear. Just kind of like, just big old confusion, scratch on the head, and they continue the approach.
all right. As you approach, you can see that like the cloaked man sprinting away from where Xavier was standing. The crowd kind of seems to murmur between them about the man, but a lot of them have kind of dispersed in similar manners anyways. Most people don't like watching corpses after they die.
So are we like all
As
together
the
now?
scene kind of, yeah, you guys are more or less in very close to proximity to one another. Like you can see one another now through the crowd.
Okay.
Or I guess I'm going to read the note like, while they're coming towards me, I guess.
All right, you go ahead and open the note to read it.
Also,
Uh,
when
yeah,
out loud.
I'll send you the text in a second. Just give me a moment. I need to fetch it first. I have no idea where I stored it actually. Hold on.
What the hell is this place?
Well, this is not a normal occurrence, but it is the law. Not one I support, but law.
They just took a life for no reason.
Well,
Well, there isn't
yeah.
enough for them, sadly. Not for us, clearly, but that seems fair given what his last words.
I mean, it was word against word. I can't be the only one who thinks that was very wrong.
His popular demand conquers this area.
Yeah, for most people who are standing here, Zoria is sounding really naive, as the word of a counselor is something that people don't really question, including you guys for the most part, as the counselors have always been honest and open-handed with pretty much everyone, and they have pardoned a lot of people. An actual execution happening is very rare. Most people who have like been brought up to the stage to like be executioned or anything have been almost unanimously voted off due to their crime being much simpler than just kill the man and admitted it.
This seems a little more, how do I say this? Normally, votings like this are unanimous. Almost. It is quite rare to only have such a... It's like almost the flipping of a coin that has decided this fate.
Can't be right. That just seems so wrong.
I would agree, but words are words. They have weight behind them.
Right, as you guys kind of gather in a circle, almost like one after another, kind of like just grouping together. The families and the people who were with you kind of just disperse, so to speak. Each one of them has things to do. You guys eventually just like kind of come close proximity to one another, unless one of you wants to leave or something. I don't know. Does anyone want to leave? Like, not hang around with the party?
I think so.
I don't think so.
I assume after Xavier read the message, the note, we just look around and see, like, yeah, the party is here.
Yeah, everyone's kind of like
Oh.
standing around you, and it appears that the crowd is dispersing quite rapidly. There are only a few circles of people who are still standing in the area, including you guys. The guards are kind of like shepherding people who are leaving away, and the man's corpse is being taken to the local cemetery to be buried with honor.
We managed to find ourselves again.
I'm going to
Friends.
call break on this tiny cliffhanger. After break, we'll figure out what that note said, or maybe we won't. Depends on what Xavier wants to do.
Well, we will be right back after these messages.
After these messages.
We're back.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. Break is over. The people who had to go do their things did their things, and we are back live. We last left off with Xavier being handed a note, a very strange note, by a very strange person.
So, people, we managed to find ourselves again. Didn't expect to see your beautiful faces this fast. I'm talking to the group.
I'm desperately fighting myself to ask you to roll for deception because you're being sarcastic.
I am being sarcastic, yes. Do I have to roll
Uh,
for deception for that?
You know what? Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Roll for deception and see if anyone gets the sarcasm or not.
Okay, sure.
I believe I already called it.
Do I roll as well?
No. He's contesting passives.
Oh, okay.
17.
Yeah,
No one
everyone except for Jocelyn, because Jocelyn has hung around him enough to actually know that this is sarcasm. Everyone thinks that he's actually complimenting you.
Damn, he beat me by 1.
You're not rolling.
No, my passive insight is 16. He beat me by 1.
Oh, he beat you by 1. I heard it as he beat a nat 1. And I was like, what?
Oh, how much?
Well-
Oh, okay.
He beat me by all of it. Now, what did he say?
I
He
said
said
that
he.
I didn't expect to see your beautiful faces this fast.
Hakeem is going to read Josana's expressions of like laugh along awkwardly.
It is very obvious he's not sure what the hell he's laughing about.
It is obvious.
He's just laughing. Because people are laughing.
Well, I saw every single one of you object to this thing. I'm pointing over at the dead body.
No.
If you
Esmeray
know.
and Josana didn't object. They didn't raise their hands when the guy was being asked to be like when they were asking, "Do you want him to go?" That's either they're kind of just abstained.
We didn't vote at all.
They abstained.
Yeah, they
Well,
abstained, but
they're kind of
doesn't mean
clearing
they wanted to
people
kill him.
out. We should probably move to the flagon.
We should go somewhere a little bit discreet.
Exactly, like the flagon, and then we can get rooms there.
Sure.
To the flagon.
All right. You people make your way to the flagon.
Making our way.
Making our way downtown. Making our way. You arrive at the ever familiar stone building with the large pillars outside, who pretty much all of you except for Zoria is familiar with. The place doesn't seem to be as bustly or as loud as it was. Just go ahead and
I don't know what about you guys, but I believe this guy, and I think the military did a shit job.
Wait, who are you? Who do you believe?
That Martin.
Me too. I don't trust the gnome.
This is a good man, so I believe that that Martin had the best intentions in mind.
Well,
I've heard more about this Martin than I've heard about this merchant fellow.
and thinking about it, I don't think anyone is gonna do anything about it except us. Are you
Well,
interested
We are
in
certain.
diving deep in this thing?
Sounds like a little bit of an adventure. Exciting at the very least.
Anyone
Well,
wanna?
Where do we begin? It's a confusing matter for this.
I mean, before it begins, we just have to make sure that we're all on the same page here.
That is important.
Anyone objecting to us?
This would be a
investigating
pretty big
this
fish if
thing?
we actually uproot corruption in the city.
I have to be right back. 1 second. Door is ringing.
Well, I do believe it would be not in our best interest to make a lot of noise if we are to investigate.
Well, most
Sorry,
of us
guys.
planned already.
Sorry, I was just kind of eyeing Josana.
I'm back.
So do you think he deserved to die?
I'm quite indifferent.
But how can you be indifferent about someone dying or living?
Well, not quite know the man very well, and he did murder. So I would rather that people who know a bit more than me make a decision.
But they didn't want to. They wanted everyone else to make the decision.
Yeah, and that's why I abstained.
That seems kind of weird.
You, when you're when your name carries a bit of a burden, you will need to portray yourself in a certain manner. And I cannot publicly do whatever I wish to do.
Oh, so you're just scared of your family.
No, not my family. Of other people doing things to my family.
Right.
Politics are
get-
difficult.
Yeah. I guess.
I like that Zoria even knows what the term politics means.
She doesn't. She's
You guys
just like,
eventually,
yes, something is difficult.
you guys eventually arrive at the practically half-empty tavern at this time of the day. Most people are kind of just, you know, fucked off, so to speak. The same barmaid that Esmeray was greeted by yesterday is still here. A lot of other people in the tavern still exist. The barkeep, basically. A few of the people that were seen the day before. And yeah, you guys have enough space to find one of the big tables to sit on if you'd like.
Do we also find Snowseeker?
Snowseeker is just chilling somewhere in there, yeah.
Okay, I'll pass him and sort of like ask for payment.
He nods, hands you a grand total of 50 gold pieces.
Okay. I will then walk to the bartender, if there is one.
There are a bunch of barmaids hanging around.
Is there like a general like bar area?
There is a bar, yes.
Okay, I will go there and ask for the bounty.
He kind of shakes his head, tells you that this is something to be discussed with one of the captains of the guard, not him.
Okay, then we will go back
And almost on cue, you guys see the ever familiar face of Captain Davies enter the tavern as he walks towards your table with a smile.
Well done.
Well, tried to find you in your shop earlier today, Xavier. You're in there.
I was not.
It's a good thing that
Well-
people know your face. I kind of like just smiles to you and hands you a pouch.
Ah,
This is as agreed. The bounty.
yeah.
You guys can split it however you want. You receive a pouch of 110 gold pieces.
Wow, we're rich now, sort of. Let's split it evenly, right?
And divided 6 ways.
Yeah, we do split it evenly. Except I get 2 less because taxes.
That's 18.3 each.
So everyone gets 18 except one person, except 2 people get 19. That's basically the math.
So
I think I'm correct. Yes, I am. Okay. So pretty much everyone gets 24 gold pieces minus. I'm gonna say Hakim and Xavier get 25.
wait, we can split this ourselves. Don't worry. So
Okay, just I don't want to get done. Doesn't matter. We're not mass we're not mass majors here, please. Keep it in your pants.
But
Fair
there's
enough.
lots of Hakim's magic that put them all down. Hakim's does more money.
So everybody gets how much?
24.
24.
gold pieces.
That is adding the 6 from before.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's like in total.
Okay, so... Okay, then I'll add 19.
Wait, so we get 24?
Yes,
Yes.
24 total. If you already add the 6 from before, only 18 more.
Wait, why only 18?
Because
we got two lots of gold.
dividing 110 by 6.
We got 6 from the from merchant that we escorted here, and then we got 18 from the bandits we captured. For a total of 24.
Okay.
What you can do is like
Now
you go
I'll
to
be adding 24 gold.
yeah, what you can do is like you go to your character sheet, like in the beyond
Yeah,
that, and
I
just
did.
go to inventory and stuff like this. Alright. 24 gold pieces added. Okay. Yeah, what would you guys like to do? The cutting kind of just fucks off.
Is this sort of like... Are people... Is anybody eavesdropping? Can I roll perception?
Go ahead.
My perception is shitty. Oh, it's a 20 though. Nice.
No, people seem to be super busy with discussing what happened earlier today.
Okay. People don't seem to be listening in. Hakim Zorli gives a look around the tavern.
Well, if we all agreed to work on this, I received this thing. I'm gonna drop the note on the table.
Yeah, you guys see in front of you what essentially is, for most of you anyways, demonic inscriptions.
Oh no.
And I assume most of you can't read it, so I will just tell you that it means we
Esmeray
need...
can read it, by the way.
I said most.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Esmeray can read it. I don't know who else can or can't. It's in Infernal.
Nope, I can't.
Nope.
There is someone who wants to meet me and anyone I can trust in the Silver Flagon tonight.
Which, for reference, is literally what you are right now.
Exactly. To save the family of this innocent man. Of an innocent man in general, I don't know. But it's something, you know?
Okay, let's get to the bottom of all this. Prevent more unfortunate murders.
It's elite. That's what I can say.
So this paper says that there is someone here that can help us?
Someone wants to meet me and anyone who I trust in. Yeah, that's basically it.
I have a very, very important question now.
What?
And she kind of leans over the table, like over to Xavier. Do you trust us?
That's a very good question. The answer would be I have no other options.
Take that as a yes. We're friends now.
Yeah, we are.
Good.
Insight check.
On who?
On Xavier.
Does he really want to be Zoria's friend?
Does he really see us as friends? Okay, I'll roll. I'll just roll. You can set a DC
Okay,
for it yourself. It's
Just roll for it,
it's a
I guess.
14. It's a 14. What do I get?
You get indifference.
Okay. Good enough for now. I'll keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, you can tell that Xavier is just kind of nodding along to Zoria being childish.
That doesn't mean he doesn't
Call
hate
me
you.
childish.
That doesn't mean he's like doesn't trust you, but it also means that he doesn't really trust you. It's like both. He's indifferent.
He's kind of
Zoria has no clue. Zoria thinks we're friends now.
Yeah, yeah.
You're my friend now.
We're having soft tacos later.
Well, we do have almost all day before this mysterious person meets us.
Ooh, maybe we should think of like a code phrase. If we're going to do this covertly. Because as we gather more friends or allies, we can let them in on the gig.
I'm mostly scared because of Shosana. Her name should not be involved in anything like this. Neither should mine.
We should get fake names for you too.
fake names or something and fake faces and not something else, you know. Half the town knows me. Even more.
We can just paint your face with like makeup.
What the
I
fuck
don't
does
think
Zoria
that
know what
is
makeup is?
best.
Face
She heard
paint.
about that. It's this cool new hip thing.
Face
What's the first thing
paint.
she got
It's
when she got
plant
into town? Her
colors.
face is fucking painted, man.
She has seen your summer. Use it.
And she's seen Josana, yeah.
Yeah.
They probably
knows.
talked about it too.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Zoria
Girl
probably
talk, girl
just
talk,
poked
bottom
Josana's
text.
face and went,
Yeah.
"What is that?"
Fair enough. I'm just checking, because, you know, concept of forest girl doing makeup doesn't add
yeah,
up.
yeah. I saw Josana. She would have asked. It's fine.
Well, we should probably think of a code phrase or some sort of.
Who's sat
Sometime.
closest to Sonata?
I don't know. You guys decide who's sitting where.
Sure, I'll sit on your other side.
Oh, so good stupid idea time. As Sonata leans over to your ear and whispers something in a different language that conveniently Hakim happens to recognize based on his book from last session, as she whispers in Primordium in his ear, "We're trustworthy." That's a good password, you ask me.
That is a very good one, but I don't think everybody here speaks that.
Oh, they don't?
Wait, was that primordial?
I think so. I don't know.
No, that was Infernal.
Wait,
Yeah, the letters-
what
the
did
letters are
Sina?
not-
What did you say?
We're trustworthy in Primordial.
Okay, then I actually get it because I speak that. That is good.
Yep.
The other people can just learn it by heart. It is not a very wide spoken language anyway. Okay, I'll sort of like I'll bring it up and sort of like say, why don't we use this? And I say we are trustworthy in primordial, and I also write down characters for it on a piece of paper, like letters. I don't know primordial script, so.
So what is going on?
I'm asking if this is, to the people, a suitable catchphrase slash code phrase to know who is trustworthy, or should we ever be in disguise to identify each other?
I'll be completely honest with you. I lost you in on the catchphrase itself. What was it? Because I can zone out.
We are trustworthy, but
Sonata's suggestion for a secret code word is "we're trustworthy in Primordium."
How
Oh,
about back pain?
yeah.
Like, you know, if you're talking, like, let's say we're talking to some people, and you know, the most random thing you could say in this situation would be saying like, "Oh, my back pain hurts." You know?
yeah, but you see, if it is
And they
I'm
wouldn't
very
know
sorry
shit.
about this, Mrs. Esmeray, but this is very vulgar. You don't know what you're talking about. Do you mean the trapezium muscle area, or the pectoralis area? It is very. It doesn't make sense. His eyes will start going a little
It
bit.
does make
somewhat
sense for people who don't know
You could also just mean,
stuff you
the
know.
the rhomboid area.
Okay,
It's also a very
perhaps.
prone area to back pain.
Oh my god. Okay, instead of back pain, let's say headache. I think that's a
I
more general thing.
I'd suggest that it's an action rather than words. Maybe
Yeah, I was about to
someone
say as well.
maybe someone
do you
dropped something on
mean?
the floor and then they say, "Oh, oops, sorry about that," and then they
Yes,
go down
the
and pick it up again. That's how people would know if someone's bad, I'd say.
Yes, the problem with just having a phrase for it is there's no initiator. So if I wanted to know if someone is safe, I wouldn't be able to ask for it. Like, I would have to ask, what is the code word? But by that point it's already suspicious. So perhaps we can
Okay.
we can start most of our conversation, if not all of them, with a simple hand gesture or some sort of other give and tell. Like,
You would probably not want it to make too obvious.
Maybe stretching the head.
okay, I've heard about this from a different culture. I've read about it. It's a little bit far off and far-fetched. But have you guys ever made a finger heart? It just takes 2 fingers.
Yes. I know of it.
We can do that. It is covered. It is easy.
A finger heart.
Gay.
It would be quite easy, yes.
Yes, you press your thumb and
Index finger.
index finger together, and in a way that they poke out and they make like a little heart shape.
Not they're over in the corner, just playing with the fingers, trying to recreate a small heart.
I'm assuming Xavier is fist palming right now.
He exactly is fist pumping right now. He's just like, what the fuck is these guys having about?
Or do you have a better solution?
He doesn't talk. He just say fist pumping.
Yes.
Yeah,
A comment
you can
on
see him
it.
you can see him obviously frustrated. For those of you who have passive perception of 14 or higher, you can tell that he's frustrated at the concept of a heart looking like 2 fingers.
Don't you mean insight?
Yeah, inside, whatever the fuck. What did I
I
say?
like the idea.
Perception.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, it's inside.
A heart seems cute, but isn't that like kind of obvious?
Have you ever just held something close to your chest and covertly made this symbol? You can slip it
No.
into any conversation.
Really?
Yes. People wouldn't even notice. It could just be a small gesture that you do with most people. It could be a little tick that you have.
I really need to know why we're even doing this.
Okay.
If we're going to go discreet, we should know where the other party is at all times. We don't just randomly meet each other.
Yes, but let's say, okay, we all go home for an evening, or we are separated for an evening for whatever reason. One of us gets picked off and interchanged with an imposter. Another imposter walks up and doesn't do the finger sign. We know that that person is not to be trusted or has been replaced.
Ah, yes, I've given these players enough PTSD with my doppelganger bullshit.
I think you have read too much books, Hakim.
No, I quite agree with this.
I have
What's
read many
stuff
books, and
That's what you said.
this was not one of the tactics used in any of them, which is why I'm suggesting it. It is new, and it is interesting. This is sort of like uncovering a new culture.
Okay, do I just have to agree to move on?
Well, you need to agree to use the sign.
I don't
Yes,
see what
sure.
the problem with using the sign would be, Xavier.
Other than that being absolutely useless and the pain in the ass, yeah, I don't see a problem.
Then we're all in agreement.
I guess we are. So let us move to more important matters. What are we going to do?
Good question. The note has no identifying signs on it, correct?
And are we all going to
No.
to you know actually talk to this guy?
Well,
All of us?
do you think we are trustworthy?
No, that's not the question. The question is like, do we trust him?
He's our only and best lead.
Do we all need like do we need to tell him that like we're these guys. Maybe just go for like 3 or 2 party and leave the others away for now. Not, you know, give off every information about us.
Fair enough. Perhaps someone should eavesdrop into the conversation. So we would need someone that is very good at hearing on the other side. Which I am not.
What?
I'm
What's
not
that
good at
hearing?
hearing.
That is hearing.
Alex is probably just like getting distracted, just kind of like staring and counting rafting tiles. Oh, what is that about a hearing? I wasn't quite paying attention.
Zoria is pretty good at hearing from what I know.
Are you?
Not really. Decent. Not amazing.
Well, perhaps me, Sonata, and Xavier meet this person because for very obvious reasons. Sonata is how do I say this? Intimidating. Xavier is the one that
It's scared me after I stole their weapons.
I don't think Sonata would be the best. She's a bit, you know, on the bigger side, and we need to be a little more discreet. If it's about intimidation, I can manage that.
Well, are we going 3-3 or are we going 2-4?
We can go 3-3, but I would rather someone more, you know, relaxed and quiet.
So, Esmeray or Josana?
I would say so.
Well, I could be.
What are
I-
we gonna do?
Talk,
Okay.
we'll do
but you
what?
have to not talk.
Talk. Yes, of course we can talk. I can do talking with many people.
Well, then I would say just me, Josen, and you, Hakim, can come along. Yes, I can wait. Wait.
I could be a sleeper asset. I'd pretend to be asleep, and then when I'm needed, use secret words, and I'd be there.
I can be a cat.
You can do that, both of you.
Oh,
I can be a cat.
Yeah, you can. Do it. And you can sleep, Sultan Senator? You can sleep. Esmeray,
Yeah.
what part do you wanna take in this?
I guess I'll save my distance and listen.
Amazing. What time is it now? DM.
It is approaching midday.
We still have a whole day of preparation. Does anyone have something to do outside of this place?
Well, I promised Soria to show around.
That's something we can do in the meantime. Anything else we discuss before meeting here? At, around, you know, night?
I think I can just stay here. I'll just stay in the tavern and see if someone like that enters. Someone that we might be looking for.
That'd be a very good idea. I am going back to my laboratory to get some supplies. We meet here around, I don't know, sunset? Anyone
But,
objecting?
I don't object.
Okay, then. Split around people. Go see what you have to do. And we meet here at sunset.
Does anybody need anything from the city? If Josana is showing me around, I can buy things.
Thank you.
I already sent my my assistant to fetch things for me, so thanks for that.
Wasn't
Soria,
that yesterday?
Yeah, no, thank you.
we can find something, Soria. We can go to the market and find some supplies that could make a very nice meal.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, we should do that. That sounds like fun.
Well, if you would excuse me, people, I am going to see my day. I'm gonna just like casually walk out and go to my lab, my shop.
All right. You head out to your lab. In the meantime, what is everyone else doing?
I think I'm going to be giving Esmeray 3 silver pieces. She helps kill the badger.
Sure. Esmeray,
Wait,
add 3 silver
what?
pieces to your inventory. 3 silver pieces.
Why though? I didn't hear that.
Because you helped kill the badger, and she sold the badger, so therefore 3 silver pieces.
Hmm. Mm,
What was I thinking?
Okay. So, Xavier, you go back to your shop. What you doing?
I'm just going to check on my assistant, Brian. Brian, what the fuck his name was?
I was not knowing your assistant's name.
Mr. Brian, yeah, sure.
What?
It's called Brian.
Yeah, his name is Brian.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. You head off towards your shop to find Brian, your assistant, just chilling there.
Ah. Is it my favorite Freiburg?
Roll detection for your sarcasm again.
Yep. He kind of smiles at you. Ah, hello, doctor.
What are you doing over there?
Nothing really.
Well, you see, I'm going to be busy for these next couple of days. The usual, you know. You'll have to take care of this place.
Mm, uh, um, you can see his face kind of like going even paler than usual, which is very difficult actually in his case. With your expertise, you can tell that he is having what is the closest thing possible to an anxiety attack.
Yeah. Well, it's not nothing. You updated it multiple times.
But he always were coming back.
Oh, who said I'm not coming back?
When?
I don't know.
Hmm. Uh, I'll try.
There's nothing new to you. You have done everything, I think. You're a very good doctor now. You can manage most of the, you know, cases that come. Look, if by any chance someone comes to you with a letter with a gray seal written inside it, Robbie this.
What?
I will send you the details later, like DM.
Okay.
I will just like talk in person for a while. Then you can open the first drawer in my bedroom. You'll find something there, and you will know what to do then.
Okay.
I'm just gonna talk in person, like DM you what actually I'm telling him. No, not that. Don't worry.
Anyways.
Okay, I'm just gonna go back to laptop, my laboratory. I'm gonna get some supplies, you know, some doctor shit, and yeah, that should be it.
What did Xavier say when he went upstairs to grab some stuff and then came downstairs and wanted to shock his assistant? Supplies! I'm gonna go kill myself. Anyways,
Sure. Okay.
uh,
I'm done now.
anyways, okay. Jocelyn and Zoria, what you two doing?
Well, Jocelyn, I would start with showing about the some different places where people tend to gather and have fun.
Alright. So the other couple of taverns.
Yeah, show them around and kind of tell her a little bit about some of the common patrons there and a little bit the mood of the different taverns, what most people do in them.
Alright.
Zoria would probably just stop her every like 5 to 10 minutes because she gets excited over something that she doesn't quite understand, but you know, it looks cool.
Alright, you make your way through a couple of taverns. There is the... Fucking hell, hold on. Fantasy Generator, come on, save me quick.
Yes. Yes.
Caught the DM, hell yeah.
Oh man, I mean, it was bound to happen at some point.
I mean, you should have expected this one, to be honest.
Ah, I did. I have it open next to me for a reason, it's just lagging. Just like I am. Alright, you make your way and you find a couple of taverns. These are like the ones that are most commonly attended by people. Namely, you have the Enchanted Seahorse, the Honorable Midget,
What the fuck?
and the Grey Hornet. The Enchanted Seahorse is known for its almost theatrical nature, where people play like they do small plays in the place. They do some theatrical acts. Every now and then there's like a tiny talent show that takes place. It's generally like the place to be if you're all about the bustling. The Honorable Midget is the tavern mostly visited by gnomes and halflings. You know, the short folk, and it's just their like gathering area, so to speak. There isn't really a whole lot to be said about it. And finally, the Grey Hornet is known to be the hangout for most of the riffraff.
Riffraff.
Yeah, low-end sailors, bad
Yep.
reputation people, etc. It is where you go when you wanna hire a smuggler, kill someone, be a complete dickhead, and yeah, it's up to you.
That's the kind of place that Jocelyn would walk past and go, yeah, we don't go inside there.
All right. Anyways, I'm gonna slap the finest time skip. Unless anyone wants to do anything.
Nope, I have nothing in my saying to be doing right now.
No.
Alright, time skip it is. Eventually, you guys would convene back at the tavern, at around like 7 to like 8 p.m. give or take. And yeah, you're just gonna gather together, and eventually you'd set up like the table where you'd be meeting the guy or something. Is Xavier okay? Xavier, you there?
I'm here.
All right. You would eventually notice what appears to be some strange-looking halfling sending you a nod.
Wait, so we have Hakim, Xavier, and Jocelyn at one table?
Yes.
And then Esmeray, Sonata, and Zoria on a different one. Right?
Yeah, that's the deal.
I want to be a cat.
All right.
I will have the cat.
How far
Yes,
are the tables apart from each other?
They're practically back to back.
Okay.
Like there's a little bit
Zoria
of distance between them, but there isn't a whole lot.
kind of turns into this relatively small brown cat, like this kind of light brown cat all over, that kind of has these like sparkling eyes that somewhat seem like stars, and she still has this, like, usually what's in her hair, this hair piece with like some pearls and a little moon on it at the end, is kind of hanging from the cat's ear now, and she will just kind of sit on Sonata's lap.
All right.
Santa holds the cat very, very carefully, but very snugly.
All right. Well, you guys eventually don't start sitting at the table, kind of like Xavier gets gestured at by the weird-looking halfling. He is very hairy with a beard that makes him look almost like a tiny Wolverine. He walks around in a boot that seems to be cut from the bottom, as if it's barefoot, but he's wearing the boot in some sort of celebratory manner almost.
I know him.
He seems to be pointing at you. Or
Do I
not
know
pointing, like gesturing towards you. No, you don't. You've never seen this man in your life. He wears a brown leather coat, holds a very obvious dagger at his belt, and a crossbow on his back. And he approaches the table with a soft smile. It looks pretty devious. Good evening,
Evening to you.
Dr. Noran. I see you have brought friends.
Ah, yes. These are my. I mean, I assume you know Mrs. Josena.
Of course. Lady Lacotactus. I know her.
Who doesn't? And
Hmm.
this is another friend of mine.
He looks over to Hakim and instantly extends a hand. Ah, First Seeker. I've heard of him. I've heard of you, sir. You are a renowned researcher. I've heard.
Renowned is maybe the wrong word, but I do publish
Yeah.
a fair bit, and I extend the hand and
You
shake
have
it.
done a lot of good work in terms of culture studies. I'm surprised you haven't visited Langdale yet.
Visited what?
Langdale.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is the village nearby almost. It's not very
Yes,
nearby, it's across the sea.
ship prices have been awfully steep, and the study of the stars is not bound to one land, so that's what I've been doing lately.
Interesting. Well, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Guido Galpsi, at your service.
Excuse me, how do you say spell that last name?
I'm writing it down.
Can I try and listen into the conversation?
Sure.
Do I roll perception?
No, he's not being at all quiet about it. Basically,
Oh, okay.
anyone who's in close proximity can hear it.
Cool.
Am I lagging?
I just have a question.
No, you're fine.
Did this guy see us earlier in the morning when we were here? Like, was he here?
What?
Was
Oh no, he
here
wasn't
in the morning.
He was not in the tavern. No.
Okay, sure.
The tavern currently seems to have so many people around that him speaking loudly actually makes more sense than him speaking quietly.
I'm gonna just shake his hand. Ah, Mr.
Alright.
Guido, have a seat.
No, it is pronounced Guido. Guido Galpsi. See, and he kind of like leans forward and kind of like locks his hands together. I will, I'll get straight to the point, as I do not have a whole lot of time on my hands. The one who's executed outside. Wait, okay, is the bot lagging or is it me lagging? There's something going on.
It's
Hold
Bot
on.
is fine. I think it's you.
It's me. Hold on.
The conclusion.
Well then, Yusuf. Oh wait, he's
Yeah.
gone. And I need to
He is gone.
I need to go to the intro scene because
No,
the
no.
overlays-
Yeah. He's coming back soon. He just internet
Yeah.
issues.
Well then, if he's not coming back or coming back too late, we can probably cut it here anyway and just leave it on sort of a little bit of a
We could,
cliffhanger.
yeah,
He's here.
Yes,
Hi.
Yusuf.
I am trying to fix connection.
Yes, just
We
asking
can
how
also
long
just
this is
cut
gonna
it here
take because Cini has to leave.
in 5 minutes.
I don't really have a whole lot to say, it's just like very small stuff.
Back to the main scene.
Back to the main scene indeed. So he leans forward, interlocking his hands. Well, I am gonna be thorough and fast, as I do not have a whole lot of time, so I get down to business. The man who is executed today, Martin, has been acting on information provided by the people I represent, which I will not be able to tell you the name of right now, as frankly I do not trust you enough. However, the fact that you spoke out against him being executed in the first place, or at least tried to do something about it, makes you someone who's more or less interested in the safety of the city, and that is more than enough for me to start at least extending the hand of trust. You see, that man was onto something, and before he died, he left a piece of information back at his own home, which I frankly cannot get anywhere near of, as the guards know me there. You see, well, let's just say that my cover-up is local burglar. I pretend to steal things when I don't. I pretend to enter houses to make people look at me while I give my colleagues and friends the time to escape. I create distractions. I give them space to investigate and do their thing. There is a plot going on right now. I'm not sure who's responsible for it, but there is someone in this town who is operating with the help of the Gardenians. Now, if you do not know who the Gardenians are, they're the military force way down southwest, across the sea. I have no idea what they have to do with us in here, but what I do know is that it doesn't entail well. They're military folk, and they're not good for a nation that is built off of trade. I will leave you people to decide by tonight. In the morning, if you are interested, show up, all of you, two of you, one of you, I really don't care, outside his house, which is, and he kind of like pulls out a map and points to a spot on it. That's where his house is. I'm assuming all of you are familiar with the place. And he points to the Academy of Warriors. His family lives quite nearby, but his house is there. Should his family ever be connected to whatever happened, which they will, the Gardenians will try to look through them and they might interrogate them. Which I would rather avoid. So you people will be saving a man's life, and most importantly, you'll be getting paid if you are able to recover that piece of document. Good day to you. He tips a fake hat, or like an invisible hat rather, and he gets up. And this is where I'm gonna call session.
Well then,
Thanks to everyone
Mhm.
for attending the session. Thanks for the artists who are responsible for our pre-neat drawings, namely Chiara, who is the player behind Zoria for Zoria, Sinata, and Hakim, and for the background art that we're using, and a couple of other things such as the what's called the profile picture on
Logo.
Twitch.
Mhm.
The logo is. Thanks to Vatkline for mine and Xavier's my icon and Xavier's picture. Thanks to Tora PNG for Josen's picture. And thanks to Cini for drawing her own character, Esmeray. Thanks to the Fiechter Brothers, Makai Symphony, Alexander Nakarda, and the Vault of Ambience for the music. I hope all of you had a great time, and until next time, we are out.